At long last, I'm going to tell you about my new Sous Vide. It comes in a very nice box. This isn't one of the fancy ones. I think this was about $80 from Amazon. And it's a fairly basic device. Essentially, it's just a water pump that heats up the water. I also had some Ziploc bags, and I went with a rump steak for my first try. So I just put the rump steak in the bag with some salt, heated up the water first until it got to the temperature that I wanted, which was 60 degrees. Then I cooked that for 24 hours. And it was looking pretty well cooked at that point. Gave it a sear on either side, and it was overcooked. So I've had two goes. Clearly what I've been doing with the sous vide has not been working. Obviously I didn't research things well enough. So I decided to consult with my brother-in-law on the weekend, Cam, who is an absolute genius in the kitchen and is a qualified chef. And I told him about what I'd been doing with the sous vide, and he at first seemed impressed until I told him that I was cooking a rump steak. And then he asked me, well, how did that go? And I said, oh, not really that well. He said, you need to get meat with lots of connective tissue in it. So something like one of these, beef brisket. So been to the shops, got the beef brisket. Now I'm ready to give it another go. So with some renewed enthusiasm, added in some butter into the Ziploc bag, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some salt with the brisket, and whack it in the sous vide. This time I went with 55 degrees, and I ended up cooking it for about 20 hours. Patted it dry, and then seared that either side for a couple of minutes in a really hot pan, which had some tallow in it as well. So this has been cooked for about 20 hours in the sous vide at 55 degrees. And it seems to cut fairly well. Let's just have a little piece of it. Like it looks okay. I wouldn't say it was super tender though. So I still don't think I've been very successful with the sous vide, unfortunately, so far. So if you've got any feedback for me, I've done 55 degrees for about 20 hours. I could have gone 24. Maybe I needed to go for extra time. It's pretty good, but it's not super tender. Maybe I'm just expecting too much for a cut of meat like this. And it certainly is cooked perfectly. If you have a look at that, I don't know if you can see that. Like it looks really good. It looks medium rare. So yeah, I'm not going to waste it though, I can tell you that.